Let's just go back down the hill.
Oh, it is on. It is.
She's got our flags.
Okay. Oh, it's on, Cartoon Apocalypse. Okay. This is vengeance. This is vengeance. You're so. Oh, it's on now. Alright. So you want quality content, huh? You want quality content? Guess what? I'm not working today. So it's vengeance! Vengeance! Greetings, my dear TMBT viewers, and welcome to the analysis for the Season 3 finale special of Star vs. the Forces of Evil. And yes, I know that was a mouthful. Also, that clip in the beginning was just a mere way of saying that Cartoon Apocalypse, this video is revenge. I took the day off from work simply to instead spend the entire day editing. So joke's on you. Anyways, this finale was without a shadow of a doubt the best finale that we've seen from Star vs. so far. Or at least that's what I hope you guys are thinking about. The fight scenes were well animated, the tension was there, and there were some plot twists that I personally was not expecting. Now of course, this is the day of the special, so please take into account that this is indeed filled with spoilers. Now, from the beginning, Moon is still missing and so Star has to temporarily take over Muni. Star is revealed this by Eclipsa, who she locks up in chains to restrain her from getting in the way this time. She needs a plan to distract Meteora from reaching the borders of Muni, and not too many people had ideas. Mina Loveberry of all people was unsuccessful at defeating Meteora, and she went up against Spider with a top hat easily. Psh, but I guess at the same time so did Marco with a single sword. Anyways, we also were about to get some suggestions from the Magic High Commission, but then Star throws them out since they are liars. I don't really blame her for that. But it is funny because just scenes later we clearly have Hekapu a part of Marco's team, and yet the rest aren't even seen fighting for the rest of the finale. And even Omnitraxis, I mean, he could have done something. Do you know how big that guy is? And so this leads up to my next point. With some time given, Marco is eventually chosen due to his experience with fighting after years with Hekapu. So long story short, Star heads off to the realm of magic in search for her mother in the meantime. It was awfully surprising for me to see Star not avoid Marco after the kiss just episodes before, but she seems to be just as comfortable around him as ever. Also, Marco reveals to Tom during this episode that he kissed Star, and even Tom wasn't showing any signs of hatred towards him afterwards. And it's true that he believed that it was a bluff at first, but even after Marco confirmed that they really did kiss, he still wasn't as surprised. I honestly believe that that was the last straw for Tom, and I think he'll eventually break up with Star, considering the fact that this is how many times they've done something like that? I think even Tom started to realize that they're meant to be together or something, because he doesn't really try to fight it as much even towards the end. I wonder if they'll ever explore whether or not the blood moon is a curse. Of course they didn't have enough time to distinguish that in this finale, but surely in season 4 they'll do something with it. Marco finally sets up the meeting with everyone about his plan, and can we all agree that Tom looks similar to one of the firebending soldiers from Avatar? The plans with capturing Meteora become useless over time, and sadly Star's mission also at first seems to be a lost cause. Despite the fact that she actually did find Queen Moon, even with all of her reminders, she still loses her memory within the realm. Move on to part 2 of this finale, and boy do we have a finale. It's so spectacular. We begin where we left off from when Moon and Star are running around in the realm of magic. It's soon discovered that the realm of magic is also a way to transport into different dimensions. The first example we see seems to be Hekapu's dimension, and the second is possibly a dimension that we may or may not have heard before. Surely there's gonna be an episode in the future where it's revealed what this dimension is. Since the background color of the dimension was a bit bluish like the portal that the monsters went through in the episode, it is definitely possible possible that that's where all the monsters went off to. Either way, I'm sure it's going to be significant to the story in the future. Eventually, Star and Moon face in front of Star's old unicorn creation, who, keep in mind, is the most mature magic unicorn of them all. And I distinctly mention that because it was the only creature throughout the entire realm that had common sense enough to teleport them back to Muni. I believe that it had mentioned how they didn't belong there simply because of the realization of how catastrophic the destruction on Muni and magic alone was. It probably wanted Star to stay there before in order to learn more about the realm before heading back on Earth. Or, well, Muni, sorry. And as for why they lose their memories while in the realm, there isn't exactly too much explanation behind that. Perhaps too much magic eventually consumes their mind as well. Lastly, once the unicorn zaps them back to where they belong, Star just scenes later is in her bed, but yet Moon the rest of the episode was never seen again. Presumably, my guess is that we'll see her asleep in her bed like Star as well, just in the beginning of season 4. Before Star and Moon are finally sent back through, Marco and the rest try and kick some serious butt. And this moment truly lives up to why these characters are seen in the intro, especially Tom and Kelly, because Ponyhead,
Talon, launch me!
You got it.
I don't hear nothing she said, right? I won?
yeah, that happens. Marco then gets captured by Meteora and saved by Tom, who has thousands of spirits, so he doesn't exactly have his powers drained as soon. Guess it was an awesome thing that Tom never turned in all of his souls in the Demon Sism episode, or they would have been screwed. Tom is able to escape with Marco, but only because Marco doesn't make it out without his spirit being taken as well. Star's focus once witnessing this immediately gravitates to his safety rather than the entire kingdom, and she attempts to use the Well of Magic, but can't since she either got it wrong or the crocodile refused for some silly reason. I watched the return to Muni once more, and Star said Raw 5 times instead of 3 times like Moon. But, yet again, the first time Moon says Raw, the crocodile clearly responds back, so it could have been that Star was not the official queen at the given time. Star nearly backs off before realizing just how much she was leaving behind. So instead, she heads back over to officially face Meteora and save the spirits of the Mumins. And once she arrives, she makes it down to the tapestry room where Glossaric is also seen. I find it a bit odd how he just screams Glodgore so loud. It could have been a way to attract Eclipsa or Meteora's attention. More on Glossaric very soon, trust me. Eclipsa is revealed to have also escaped within the castle, and this time it's from a picture of a pirate ship near the throne room. Maybe all of the pictures with pirate related imagery has a secret hallway that allows her to go wherever she pleases. Not too long from then, Star finally finds Meteora within the throne room and faces her for the very first time, and dang was it worth the wait. Let me mention that I was watching this entire thing 3 in the morning, which is when it first released on Disney's website, and I had to conceal my screams of joy. So guess what I did? I watched it again while editing. Thug life. There were a bunch of spells Star used on Meteora all the way back from season 1 and 2, and the one that stuck out for me the most was the Jellybean hallucination spell. That spell derived all the way from the very first episode of Star Versus. She did considerably well, and the fighting was just epic. The animation, music as usual, and dialogue was just perfect. And even as powerful as Star was against her, she doesn't exactly make it and is crushed by Meteora. But the important part to mention in this moment is how Star ever so willingly gave up all of her powers to Meteora to show just how guilty she felt for her family technically stealing the throne from Meteora's after centuries. But honestly, I wish we could have seen a fight between her and the Magic High Commission rather than Star being the blame for the entire thing. Anyways, it looks as if Star gives away her powers, but it didn't seem to have been sent to Meteora due to her weak state afterwards. But yet, strangely, you can faintly hear the sound of the reverse spell magic in the background. and we clearly don't see any green glow coming from Meteora's eyes when that's happening. Which gets me to the next moment in the episode. It's funny because moments later when Star is attempting to use her famous Narwhal blast, Eclipsa just miraculously shows up on time and decides to use her wand. And for someone who has never dipped down before, she sure as heck knew how to take care of Meteora awfully quick. Eclipsa has some breathtakingly powerful spells, and the main one that should have caught a bunch of people's attention was Black Velvet Inferno. This spell made it seem as if Meteora was gonna die by her own mother, but was revealed to only revert Meteora back into her younger years as a baby. It could have been one of the spells both Star and Ludo flipped through when adventuring inside of the spell book. And before Eclipsa officially reverts Meteora, Meteora asks Eclipsa if she was on their side, but instead, she doesn't necessarily reply, she just fires her spell. And yeah, it's nice that everyone's happy and Muni was saved, but let's talk about the ending. Star gracefully returns the wand back to Eclipsa after feeling bad for her, but then Meteora begins to cry now that she's an infant, and rather quickly, Eclipsa levitates to the monster temple while Star is just as confused as us, but it doesn't stop there. Guess who can converse with others after all this time? Glossaric. It's true that Glossaric's voice has changed, and that's because the original voice actor had to be replaced with Keith David. And if you're not familiar with him, he was the voice actor that portrayed Dr. Facilier from the Princess and the Frog movie, aka the villain magician. I'll miss the original voice actor for Glossaric, Jeffrey Tambor, but he was accused of something that I will not mention. Anywho, Glossaric just freaking reveals that bit of interesting fact before floating with an umbrella himself. Where to, you might ask? I'm not sure, but perhaps he followed Eclipsa after all of that. She is now the official queen and her daughter is the new princess now that Star has given away the position. I will be doing a separate video on Glossaric, so don't fret, it's on. Now, as for the ending, it's revealed that Eclipsa was keeping a crystallized Globgore inside of the hidden room for Meteora the whole time. And given by that smirk she was making, it doesn't look like her intentions are for the greater good. This obviously was something that Eclipsa was planning the entire time, and it's possible that everything was all an act. Sure, her daughter causing cataclysmic damage wasn't exactly part of the entire plan, but I'm sure that acquiring the wand once more and freeing her husband as well was a part of the plan. Both Eclipsa and her monster husband Globgore probably were planning to eradicate all of the humans and instead allow no one but monsters to reside in the kingdom. Other than that, I in particular don't really see any other motives for them taking over after all these years. Well, that was my analysis for this finale, and that was an awesome experience, I'll tell you that much. There are, however, a few questions that need to be asked and answered from the show itself. The finale was amazing. But when will we be able to see Ludo again after his brother Dennis somewhat cured his mental state? Is the Blood Moon a curse? And if so, is there a way to break that curse? Is there more to Toffee's backstory than what we've been given? And did his actions have something to do with Eclipsa's plans? Oh, and one last important question. Will I ever do daily YouTube uploads? No. That is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all for your support. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Most likely it's gonna be like another theory video or something. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace!